Hi, my name is Fredrik, and in this video I will explain how to use references, what you should refer to, and lastly, when to use references. Let's start off by looking at how to use references. One key aspect of academic writing is the use of citations or references. When writing scholarly material, you must always be transparent about which ideas are yours and which stem from previous research. Therefore, it is important to specify where your theories or claims originate from. What previous material did you take into account when you started writing? Think of it as guidance to your readers. By referring to other people's ideas, you make it possible for your readers to follow your train of thought. They might be interested in the previous research themselves, or maybe they just wish to read it to make sure you have interpreted everything correctly. Then there's the aspect of paying respect to those before you. You've used their scientific findings, and it's appropriate to let them and your readers know this. Also, when you refer to people, you're positioning yourself within the field. You show that you know who the leading experts are within your subject, that you have grasped what they've published, and that you have done your homework. Academic writing and referencing is all about building a line of argument that is well grounded. So, what should you refer to? You should refer to the sources that you've used in your own work. If you've read an article, a book, or a report and used ideas, data, or facts from it, then you must show this. Usually this is quite obvious, but of course questions could arise. For instance, what should you do if the original ideas that you want to refer to are presented in another book than the one you've read? Let's say that the author Holt is summarizing works by Freud. Who should you refer to? The answer is that you have to show that Freud's ideas were presented to you through Holt. Holt should be included in your reference list or bibliography at the end of your paper. Of course, the best thing is to read Freud yourself and make your own judgment based on the primary source. So, is there anything you shouldn't refer to? Well, start by thinking of your readers. Who are they? You shouldn't have to refer to common knowledge, such as during what years the Second World War lasted. But be careful of using expressions such as "it is well known" or similar, since such a statement might be met by criticism. It is important to refer to the material that you have used in your own work, because if you forget to do so, you risk being accused of plagiarism, which is a form of cheating. If there aren't any references in your text, your readers will assume that you have come up with everything yourself. It is often quite obvious when this isn't the case, and if you use another person's work without referencing, this is easily detected. So be sure to clearly state whether an idea, data, or fact is yours or someone else's. Even if you intend to use your own previous work, it is important that you refer to it. You are not allowed to reuse material without stating so. Exactly when should you make a reference? Well, there are several ways in which you can refer to what you've used, either by quoting, paraphrasing, or summarizing. When you quote someone, you use the exact wording as the original source. You recognize a quote either by the quotation marks surrounding the quote, or if it's a long quote, by making an indentation in the text, which is easily done by pressing the tab button. A quote should always be followed by a reference including page number. Quotes are, however, used sparsely in academic writing and are mostly applied when you want to stress a certain fact. Usually the text is much easier to read when you paraphrase previous research instead of quoting it word by word. Paraphrasing essentially means rewriting material using your own words. This is a common way of incorporating other people's work into your text. It shows the reader that you've understood earlier research and found your own way to apply it into your context. Another way to use previous research is by summarizing. You can sum up an entire book or even a whole body of work in just a few sentences, in order to relate it to your own work. The difference between paraphrasing and summarizing is that while paraphrasing refers to a smaller specific portion of a source, summarizing presents an overview where you put the main ideas of, say, a book or an author into your own words. No matter if you quote, paraphrase, or sum up earlier research, this has to be made clear to your readers. And that is why referencing is so important. Good luck with your academic writing.